G'day, I'm Nathan. I'm going to be showing you how to check a website on your domain, whether it be a top level domain or a second level. So if you've got a domain, you sure you would have learned about how to get a domain this week, the last few days. You want to actually use the domain, check a website on it. So I'm going to be showing you how to actually do that. So first step would be to get a virtual private cloud server. I'm using Linode because they're pretty cheap, but you can get a free tier 1 from Google Cloud, Azure Cloud, a couple other cloud services, Oracle, but I've run out of those, so I actually need to start paying now. I'm just going to quickly whip up one. I would recommend you use the latest LTS Ubuntu, so 2204. Select region closest to you, in my case it's Sydney, and I'm going to grab the cheapest $5 a month server. You can chuck a root password to log in, which you'll need to remember, or do an SSH key. I'm going to do both in this case, just for ease of connection. You don't need anything else really. You can just whip that up and grab that IP address. Cool. Open your favorite SSH client. In my case, I use Termius. It's super easy to use, and yeah, it's just my favorite. Cool. You want to chuck in that IP address into your server, SSH client, and chuck in your name, which in this case is root, and your SSH key, which I've already done. After this has finished provisioning, it's going to take a couple secs, we'll be able to connect. So in this case, I'll be showing you how to grab I'll be using this template that I've just made, which I'll just show you what it looks like. Very simple. You're able to then customize it how you like. So we're going to grab that link, which we'll use in a sec. Cool, that's all finished provisioning, so we will connect. Just give it a sec. It might take a sec the first time to connect, no worries. Come on. Did I get the right IP address? Yes. Why is it not connecting? There we go. Cool, so I'm connected. So I'm already connected into root. For you, it might be a good idea to log in as root. In this case, it's very easy. You do go sudo -i, which means you log in as root. I'm not going to do that because I'm already root. So first step is you want to grab that template, or if you already have a HTML content, then, well, I'll show you how to do that in a sec. So you want to go and create a directory. So make a directory var www, which will be the default for our web server. Just change directory into there, and as you can see, there's nothing here. So we are going to clone that repository that I just created. If you have your own HTML content, you would either SFTP it into here or chuck it on a Git and clone it. Same. So see there, it's all here. I'm going to change directory into there, and looks all good. Now comes the step where you actually have to, well, make the web server. So you can either do it an easy way or, well, the hard way. The easy way will run a script that'll do it all for you. I'll show that script in a sec, actually. So here is what the script will be doing. So as I say, never run a script if you don't actually understand what it's doing. You know, don't want your server being taken over. So this will just install Nginx, which is a well-known web server, add some configuration for your Handshake domain, generate a SSL certificate using script that is on a couple of other Handshake tutorials, so you can check that out. It will then print out the TLSA record that you'll be using a little bit later. And then it will just apply these changes to the web server and restart it. So, cool. So we are adding permission to run that script, as you can follow the instructions here, which is github.com/nathanwoodburn/hns server. Cool. So this next step, make sure you run as sudo. So sudo new and your Handshake domain. I'm just going to quickly register one of a free SLD. You can do the same if you want, or you can use your own TLD or SLD. Also, don't save your two-factor authentication key in the password manager. I'm just doing it because, I really shouldn't. So I'm just going to grab there we go. And you can do this if you wanted to too. It's free for anybody. Cool. So I am using entire.free concept. I'm just going to copy that. Boom. So you will do sudo new. Make sure you put the dot and the slash to indicate that you're actually running that, and it is in the current directory. Then you write in your Handshake top level domain or second level domain in this case, and make sure you're running with sudo, and it should quickly install Nginx, and it will write up all the config you need. I'll wait for that to finish. It should take a few seconds. It'll be a little bit slower depending on what your virtual machine host is. So we're going to grab this TLSA certificate, and we are going to put it in our DNS server. I used star, however, it is also correct to write 443._TCP. Make sure you include the underscores, so well, as needed for Dane SSL. I'm just going to use star. Make sure you put a record, which will be to your virtual server. I'm grabbing my IP address for that. Whoops. There we go. And we're chucking it in there. Also, I'm going to chuck it for star as well, so I can go to I can use a third level domain if I wanted to. Cool. Grab and copy that. And let's see if this works. Give it a sec, it's a little bit slow because I've got a very underpowered virtual server. And also my Handshake. Whoop, okay, so SSL certificate is not quite ready yet. I am guessing that it hasn't recognized that it's been added yet. In this case, it should fix itself after maybe half an hour, but it depends on what domain, what DNS server you're using, and yeah, that's about it. It should fix itself. I might just chuck in this record as well, just in case it fixes it. Cool. So there we go. It's your site. Now you can edit the content as you see fit. I'm going to go. So we're going to edit our index, and I'm going to change the title here to Nathan Woodburn Handicon. And maybe we'll chuck it here too. Cool, and if we refresh the page, it should, it's a bit hard to see there, but it also shows here, and feel free to edit any of your stuff. I really should have a better title. There we go. So easy as that. You can also edit the background and your favicon. Cool. Feel free to rip off this Git repo however you like. You can edit it, or if you have your own HTML content, feel free to add it. Now we're also going to show you how to do a, you might use that domain. I'll show you how to set up a proxy. So this will mirror a current site. So in this case, hnsproxy.au. This is a ICANN, that's the country code for Australia. So I'm going to proxy this, which is create a Handshake mirror. So this, using a different script, we don't need to run this in the website directory, the content directory. For the HTML version of the site, you will need to run the new script when you are inside the var www and your website file directory. This one, you can run it anywhere. So we're going to run it in my root directory. You can give it the permission to run. I'll show you what this does as well. This is even easier than the last one, eh? So this one, after installing Nginx, which is not actually needed in this one, so I'll uncomment that, comment it out, because we don't need to install Nginx again. It will chuck up a server that will use for any location. It will proxy pass to your to your specified URL. So I will chuck that one there, and I will go sudo proxy, what was it, entire dot free concept, because if you had your Handshake TLD or SLD there instead, and we're going to proxy to this site here. Make sure you include the protocol HTTPS or HTTP and press enter, generating a new TLSA certificate, which I'll chuck in my DNS server. If you don't have a DNS server, you can, if you've got a domain namebase, the DNS server there is perfectly fine. You can add TLSA certificates and create your website like that, or you can use add your top-level domain to reg.woodburn.au or Varo, which is this is the clone of. Cool. So that looks like it's probably all done. If we go refresh that, it will boom. So it is now created a mirror of this site. Don't know whether the SSL is quite ready yet. If you're having problems with the SSL, you can always check with there we go, sitecheck.htools.work. So it's a useful tool. So just chuck in your top level domain or second level domain, and it will go and tell you all the problems that it's having. Oh, so the DNSSEC chain is broken. Don't know why that is. Who knows? Let me just double check that. Who knows? Doesn't really matter. We'll fix it later. Yeah, if you have any problems with this sort of thing, well, ask either in any of the Discord servers. So, for example, the namebase Discord server or the Handshake DNS server, and I'm sure that any of us will be able to help. Feel free to ping me. Just at Nathan Woodburn. So, yeah, feel free. Cool. And chances are you won't even have any of this HTTPS problem. it should work perfectly fine for you. Cool. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you around sometime.